Our approach is always to try and keep things simple. We were very cautious with the material palette that we put together. It's seemingly simple, but it's really a platform for inviting other things to be louder within it. And then everything else becomes focus, like the playing of the pool or the food on the table.
So these houses were designed and built in the late 90s by Rossetti. He did them together with a group of colleagues. So they built 6 and they all lived in one of them.
When Richard and Annie came to us, we were sort of looking at the space as how do we solve the problems of the current layout, then also creating another layer, which is how they're going to live in it. The key aspects were about materiality, atmosphere, light, and bringing through connectivity to other spaces. This house, because it's located in the centre of Cremorne, a lot of industrial, a lot of mixed use around us, and so it sort of talks to that as opposed to a domestic suburban residence. It's an inner city, gritty, joyous, expressive space. The ground floor plane of this home we've opened right up. The layout of the kitchen originally was another blocking mechanism when everything needed to be opened up. You can create spaces within spaces without walls, so that was why we wanted to make the pool table the central focus and then build everything else around it.
We wanted to make it a place where people come together, socialise, eat wonderful food, drink beer and play pool.
All of the metal and the mesh is all lined up exactly. And then the suspended steel overhead shelving so that the plants can hang below, and then the concrete blockwork walls get really expressed. The evening lighting and the feature lighting throughout the home just creates a sort of calmer, more settled atmosphere, even in the middle of the day. And then as you move upstairs, the original bathroom was really bright, white and shiny. And now it's much more, almost like a hotel bathing experience. It's a beautiful deep bath. There's a steel wine shelf, champagne shelf. And then there's the floating steel shelves again with the mirror cabinetry and the tucked around toilet area. You have this beautiful basin and large tap. The glass door can be slid away and then it opens it right up so that when you're in the bath, you're in the whole house.
We've re-exposed the blockwork wall in the bathroom. That was behind a mirror and a vanity, and the idea was to acknowledge that as being a part of the house.
So on the very top level was the main sleeping space, and there was a store cupboard facing the view of the city. So what we proposed was to actually create an ensuite on that level in that location. However, because of the nature of a bathroom, you need to sort of have a larger space. So we've enclosed the toilet completely, and then we've got the basin tucked away in a cupboard. And then around the corner without a door is a completely open shower. Probably the most exciting thing about the ensuite that we've put in the main bedroom area is that it's completely clad in smoked mirror. So there's this abundance of light echoing around the space, and then the intention was to mirror the view internally. Winter Architecture's approach to design is always about creating very logical, seamless, organised spaces that allow for multiple functions to occur. The decision for a lot of homes is to go with really white, bright spaces. In this house, it was less about opening it up to create more brightness and having more light. But the issue was more about the atmosphere. And when you have dark materials, you can suppress, it absorbs. It's more robust and it's raw. You can sort of hide in the shadows a little bit more with a lot of the materials.
This idea of having black mirror so predominant in the materials and connecting, I don't think neither of us really envisaged what it would be like in practice. So we just had to trust in that. It does feel really, really grown up and quite sophisticated and sexy, and I've never lived in a home like that before and really didn't think that was the kind of space that I would ever live in. It feels like being in a 5-star hotel. It's such a simple way of doing that, just with the use of one material.
What I really love about this space and what Richard and Annie have done is how it's so quiet. The new bits are quiet and they seem to have belonged in a way like they were never not there. And I think that's what's really interesting about it. It's really subtle but really beautiful and really elegant. It's a very intricate home, intricate detailing. It suits the use of the home and creates more enjoyment.
Annie's mum came round for the first time and I showed her around and she was just going, and then we showed her the middle bathroom and the way the door opened and closed. She said, I know I'm not saying much because I don't quite know what to say, but she said, my jaw's hitting the ground, it's so beautiful.